morning, Professor Vertis. My name is Ashley McClure, and I just wanted to take a moment and tell you that I've had a change of heart on my speech today. I was going to talk about the benefits of living a healthy life and hopefully persuade individuals to lead a more healthy life, but I went to this Women's of Faith conference this weekend, and it has totally changed my persuasion speech. I'm going to talk about walking with God and how it is beneficial. Hi, my name is Ashley, and I'm here to give you a brief testimony on my life and how my life has been changed since I've decided to walk with God. We all are young. When we were younger, our parents used to carry us to church and really pound into us the importance of the church and being a Christian and things like that. Well, if you were like myself, when I was younger, I just wanted to sleep in on Sundays. As I grew up, about 13, 14 in youth group, we went to church camp. When going to church camp, you have a week there, you're on fire for the Lord, you're listening to praise music, you're basically just hearing testimony after testimony how God has changed their life. So you're all fired up. Well, you get back in a week, a month later, it kind of fizzles out. Well, that happens to everyone, and God knows all of the plans and what we're going to do before we even do it. My testimony today is about my life. I have not had any great trials and tribulations, but I have had learning experiences that really got me back on track. My life really started to change around 19 years old. I was a year out of high school. I attended the local coastal community college there, and I really felt that I was unsure of what I was going to be when I grew up, so I just didn't care, so I took time off. Well, I met a friend back in Brunswick, and she had a house, and she was looking for a roommate. Well, some light bulbs went off. Well, moving out, that's a great way to have some freedom, just kind of explore. I was 19 years old. How we all party back in high school. Some of us, majority of us do. But I really didn't hit deep into that until I moved out and got that sense of freedom with no boundaries and things like that. Once I moved out, I started waiting tables. And if you're not a strong Christian and you work in an atmosphere, a non-Christian atmosphere, especially the restaurant, it will kind of lead you to do things that you normally would not do. I got into the party lifestyle. If I wasn't working, then I was out partying. If I wasn't partying, I was working. I would go out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even come to church hungover on Sunday, which is very unacceptable as I look back on my life. And I knew it wasn't right, but I was just having fun, and I didn't care. I felt like I was invincible. I got a wake-up call probably about a year, about 6 months, a year after I lived on my own. And I got into a relationship that was not good. It was an embarrassment to family members and things like that, but you all learn from those. That was a reality check and a turning point in my life. So I moved back home. I started getting my life back on track, and I thought, this is it. I know what I'm going to do. So I enrolled in the college. About 2-3 years down the road, I was 23 years old, still, working and things like that, but going to school a little bit here and there. Well, I met a guy I thought was totally cool, just so awesome. And with past relationships, I found that I lost myself in these relationships. I would put myself on the back burner and kind of live for them and not for me. Well, that came about again. I met what I would later find out a wolf in sheep's clothing. I met this guy, we hung out, we dated for about 4 years. In that 4 years, I came from a very self-confident person and sure in my faith to slowly making it down to here with self-confidence. My self-confidence was totally dropped. I gained a lot of weight. I basically, you could call it not physical abuse, but emotional. I was treated like I was stupid. I wouldn't amount to anything. I was ridiculed for not having the most money, but I had a great job. I worked for a very prominent surgeon in Brunswick, and I loved my job. May of 2010, I was about 25. My parents decided to move to Statesboro. So I decided that I would stay in Brunswick, and because that's where my fiance was. Well, about 3 weeks before our wedding, we got engaged, but 3 weeks before our wedding, I just decided there was something missing. Something was wrong. It was a tugging in my heart that I just knew that I put my faith on the back burner. It wasn't important in my relationship, and I knew growing up that is important. And once you put God first, then everything else falls in place. Well, I had enough. I had enough about the partying and the disrespect and things like that, so I called off the wedding. So here I am, in Brunswick by myself, a place where I grew up, but I was all alone. My parents were 2 hours away, and I was homeless. I had nowhere to go, which in reality I did have somewhere to go. I just felt that, I left my house and I just never looked back. So I remained in Brunswick until about December, and my mom kept bugging me about moving to Statesboro. I kept telling her, Mom, I'm not going to move to Statesboro. I'm not going to move to Statesboro. There's no job opportunities, so on and so forth. I'm just not going to do it. I was so adamant that I was not going to do it. Well, this was around Thanksgiving break. I decided, you know what? I was like, I've always wanted to move somewhere and start over. So, that might be a good opportunity. So I began to pray, and I turned my life over to the Lord. I said, Lord, without you, I can't do anything. And why am I floundering around out here when I know what I need to do to get right and for my life to be on track with you? Because like my mom always said, God has something so great in store for you, it will totally knock your socks off. So I prayed to the Lord that night when I got home, that Sunday after Thanksgiving. I said, Lord, if you want me to move to Statesboro, I will. I said, I don't care if I have to flip burgers. I don't care what I need to do. I will work anywhere if you want to move me. Well, about a week later, long story short, I went to my boss and I said, I would like to move to Statesboro. He made a phone call and actually got a job at an optometrist office. So I worked there for a year. When I moved to Statesboro, I said, I said, I'm going back to school to be a nurse, and that's what I'm going to do, and nobody's going to stop me. My life was on track. God has blessed me with amazing things. A very important fact in my life is that I prayed before I moved up here that I would not meet a guy, and no guy would be interested in me until it was the right one. I remember I made a list. This was probably around mid-January. I made a list of what the qualities I want in a guy. Anywhere from him being cute, smart, amazing, established, 35, in his 30s, to loving God, loving his family, and loving me. And, respect and things like that. So I made this list and I tucked it away and I prayed about it. Well, then a week later, a coworker said, I had this guy I want you to meet. I was like, okay, well, I guess. The more I got to know this man, the more that I realized that he met every qualification on that list. And I'm so thankful that God has blessed me with such an amazing life. If I look back on my life and where I was 2.5 years ago, I'm so thankful that I turned my life over to God, because without him, I would not be where I am today, and I would not be marrying the love of my life, and I would not have such a happy and wonderful life. In December, I will be completing my first year of school, and I will be applying for the nursing program the following fall. I just want you to know that this is not just another testimony that God is real and that walking with him is so beneficial. If you're out there floundering around, you have no idea that something great is in store for you. Thank you.